Over 30,000 years ago, humans domesticated the gray wolf, the common ancestor of the dog. So how do we get from this to this? Over time, the big bad wolf from our children's books grew into man's best friend, coming in just about every shape, size, color, and temperament imaginable. Dogs have changed, they've evolved, and we want to know why. The answer lies within DNA analysis. By confirming or refuting suspicions of underlying breeds, canine genetics explains why some dogs chase squirrels and others are happy to observe. And why some dogs come when they're called and others, well, join Bianca and Laura as we discover what lies beneath the puppy eyes, head tilts, and wagging tails. It's a tale worth barking about. It's Doggy DNA. Begin with the touching story of Nikki and Harvey.
He's my life buddy and my adventure buddy, so yeah, he means the world to me.
Continue with Cassidy's moving journey from fond memories of her childhood heart dog to embracing her role as a committed advocate.
She's very sensitive to things moving and sound. Like if I try to sweep, she runs for the hills.
Wrap up with the humorous and endearing saga of Hugo.
Whenever I saw my partner hold him for the first time as a puppy, the way that they looked in each other's eyes, I just knew that we were going to be like the happiest family.
My name's Nikki, and today I brought my dog Harvey.
It's really nice to meet you, and it's great to meet Harvey.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
you
my God.
want a little belly rub? Of course I can do that for you. How did Harvey come into your life?
8 or 9 years ago, I decided to foster a dog when I was living in Toronto, and so he came from Cozumel, Mexico,
Okay.
and I foster failed very quickly. Foster failing is when you intend to foster a dog, but then you adopt the dog and keep it. I had lived with him for a bit before I adopted him, and I just loved his demeanor, and so it was exciting to know that, yeah, he was mine, he was staying.
So you fell in love really quickly.
Very quickly.
Well, how could you not?
Yeah.
So tell me about his name.
He was already named when I got him. A couple people have suggested that it's Harvey Dent, Two-Face, because of his patch,
Oh,
but I'll never know.
yeah. So are there any things that Harvey does that make you go, what is that all about? I wonder where that comes from.
He sleeps about 18 hours a day, does not like to be interrupted.
Okay.
He's huge sunbather,
Okay.
loves to lay in the sun, even if it's like a tiny little patch of sun coming in the window.
How does he do with water?
He hates water.
Okay,
Hates it.
interesting.
Bathing him is a chore,
Yeah.
and I have to like carry him in, and he puts his paws out to try and grab onto the wall or whatever, and he won't swim. If you pick him up when there's water in sight, he'll start paddling, swimming in the air.
Oh my God.
So yeah, not a water dog, but he does have webbed feet.
Why did you want to have the DNA profile done?
Because he is sort of a street dog, and I don't really have any idea where he came from or who his parents are. I'm really excited to learn what breeds are a part of him and to see different personality traits, where they come from, and things I can do to sort of support his breed habits.
I'm really excited to give you these results because I think you're going to be amazingly surprised. You were wrong about everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so here we go. Coming in at 17% Labrador Retriever.
Okay.
Okay, so that's not too shocking. Harvey is 18% Saint Bernard.
What?
Yeah. Do you see his neck, right?
Yeah.
The droopiness of the neck.
He's so small. So
I
it's
know. And then after that, at 24%, Bulldog.
Bulldog.
So we're going from Saint Bernard to Bulldog. And then finally, at 41%, so the most dominant gene is a Great Dane. What?
It might be hard to imagine little Harvey hunting down wild boars, but that's exactly what his Great Dane ancestors were tasked to do. Bred as formidable hunters in 16th century Germany, lordly owners were well aware of the Great Dane's imposing impact and welcomed them into their homes where their sheer size would strike fear and doubt into potential intruders. Over the years, the Great Dane's reactive instincts were tempered, transforming them into loving, careful companions like Harvey, the little dog with a huge Dane heart.
Great Danes can often have that bully breed kind of physique, really good musculature, kind of low body fat. With Harvey, when you look at him, he has the Great Dane head and the big, beautiful ears. Once you know the breed and you kind of take a look, you're like, okay, I can see it.
Yeah.
When it comes to genetics, it's not clear-cut. Just because there's Great Dane doesn't mean he's going to have Great Dane physical attributes, because it all depends on what ends up dominating genetically. Harvey having Bulldog in him perhaps decreased his size a little bit, because he definitely isn't that giant Great Dane size.
Totally. Yeah, that makes sense.
We also have the Saint Bernard. They are called the gentle giant of the Swiss Alps because they were actually created to be search and rescue. You said with Harvey, like, he can be a couch potato at home, but then when you guys are outside, he's really energetic.
He just wants to run and run and run.
Again, this is another situation where I would have looked and said, definitely a bully breed, maybe with a pointer. You can't, again, figure it out just by looks.
He probably inherited the beauty of both worlds, calm aloofness of these giant breeds, but then when it's time to go outside and play, he has the energy and the pizzazz of the lab and perhaps the bulldog as well. How is it when you work with him trying to do tricks or any kind of obedience?
He's very treat motivated. From what I've learned today, I should do it more.
Keeping in mind that he does have a lot of working breeds in him, we have to accommodate who he is as a Harvey and his own personality, accept him for his couch potato-ness, and then just encourage him when he's outside playing fetch. Even though he is coming into his senior years, it's never too old to start integrating new things into his life. It could be something as simple as like a dog puzzle. Dog puzzles are used perhaps for a dog who can be a little bit lower energy, but needs that mental or wants that mental stimulation.
Right.
So you can put down the puzzle, hide some treats in it, and then he'll go to work at trying to find all the treats and work his way through it.
We've done hiding treats or wrapping them up in a blanket.
That's exactly what I'm talking about,
Okay, awesome.
right? And so that's stimulating his brain, and it's so good for them.
Yeah, he doesn't play with toys at all.
Okay.
He doesn't care about balls. He's not much of a player with other dogs. But he loves opening boxes and gifts and paper bags. So if I bring groceries home in a bag, he'll take the groceries out and then he wants the bag afterwards and he just wants to tear it apart.
Where he is very food motivated, it's going to be really easy for you to do work with him, perhaps for 2 minutes a day. You know, have his favorite treat, sit, give me paw, lay down, and then give him that paper bag with a few treats and scrap papers, and that can be his stimulation for the day. You can always try to make it a little more complicated and add a spin or something like that. I encourage you to keep doing that with him as he goes into his senior years.
I definitely will. Yeah, I'll make sure I focus on things that get him stimulated, grab his attention, and really use treats because he's so food motivated. I think now that I know more about his breeds, I don't know if I'll look at him differently as a dog, but I think I will be watching him more closely for a bit and trying to pick out those different breeds and what they look like and maybe the habits showing up that I didn't think of before, and just making sure I'm doing things for him that mentally and physically tire him out.
Stay tuned for the moving story of Cassidy and Theodora, a duo that found each other just when they needed it most. Discover their powerful connection coming up.
My name is Cassidy Wenzel, and I brought in my dog Theodora.
Theodora, look what I got for you. Cassidy, how did Theodora come into your life?
I was actually fostering with all of my girlfriends that I was living with, and we decided to foster out of memory of my family dog that recently passed away. We rescued 3 of them and fostered the same 3, and it was a great experience. I was looking into signing a lease at a new house, and this particular landlord wasn't very fond of the idea of fostering dogs because you don't know their temperament right away, and it's a lot. So I understood that, but I told him that I had my own dog that I did not have yet. And Theo was posted the next day, so I told him she was mine, and the rest was history. I picked her up 3 days later. I believe that you can have a heart dog and a soul dog, and my family dog growing up was my heart dog. She really shaped me into the woman that I am. and led me into rescue itself. And I think Theo is my soul dog because she's just taken that and made it flourish into something I never really honestly thought it could be. We're just getting started. We have a lot of time left. I can't wait to see the impacts that we make together.
So tell me a little bit about some of the things that you've grown to really love about Theodora and her personality.
Theo is protective but goofy, and I feel so safe with her. Like, she's so vocal, and sometimes I have to remind myself how natural of a thing that is because living in an apartment building, I have to be careful with that. I just love everything about her. I love how adventurous she is. I love how snuggly she is. She will crawl up to me on the bed like an army crawl just to really nuzzle into me, and she's been perfect.
Amazing. Did you know anything about her when you first adopted her?
Theo's mom was found very pregnant and malnourished. We never actually ended up finding out who the dad was, so all I have to go off of is mom's overall appearance, which I assumed was the Staffordshire lab mixture. Her barking is so distinguished. Like, she does a lot of aroos. She sings, basically.
Okay.
In particular, when she's excited, she'll sing, and it's a very loud bark. Sounds intimidating, but it's very friendly, and she's just saying, like, I'm so excited to be here with you guys right now.
Hi, Cassidy.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm good. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
So we're gonna start down at the bottom at 18% Labrador Retriever.
I would have put that way higher than that. Okay.
Nope, but it's gonna keep making sense. One coming in at 36% Bull Mastiff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And at 46% American Staffordshire Terrier.
Wow.
Bull Mastiff. You see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
But I never imagined that would be more than the lab. Wow.
Emerging in England during the 1800s, the Bull Mastiff had a dignified purpose: to apprehend trespassers on expansive estates with effective yet restrained force. This inception gave rise to an immensely strong and gentle breed, whose signature dual essence is evident in Theodora's carefully guarded and intensely devoted nature. Patrolling a much smaller homestead than her distant English relatives, Theo's inclination to alert and knack for adventure forever ingrained in her traditional Bull Mastiff soul.
I always wondered if there was Mastiff, but I was always leaning towards English Mastiff, and then thought, like, there's no way because she's still so small if she were to have that in her.
Right.
So the Bull Mastiff definitely makes more sense.
Yeah, and then maybe a mixture with the two other breeds, with the Amstaff and the Lab, kind of brought that size down to what she is. We have the Labrador Retriever, which is a dog that fits in what's called the sporting group. They kind of can do a whole variety of things, but were originally made for hunting and retrieving. So really good work ethic there, extremely loyal to their people. The Bull Mastiff was originally made as a guard dog, so that guarding and protective instinct is going to be really huge in her, and I think that's clear and evident. Anytime that you're out of her sight, I can see that she's looking for you. Although Bull Mastiffs can be like super fearless and strong-willed when they're working, they're actually quite docile at home and can be like snuggle muffins on the couch. So that kind of ties into what you were saying, how she can be such a lover girl at home, but she is always alert.
I am completely shocked about the DNA results. I knew there was going to be some Staffordshire Terrier in there, but I didn't expect to that percentage. I really thought there would be some German Shepherd. I mean, her coloring, I had no doubt in my mind, but obviously I was wrong. Now it makes complete sense that there's Bull Mastiff, and I always suspected the Lab.
Training with Theo and Cassidy was interesting because we can try to assume what's going to be best for a dog, but we're not always right. There are going to be personality traits that they pick up throughout their lifespan that we're going to have to accommodate. For example, Theo is a little bit nervous for whatever reason. Is it her DNA? Is it something that happened during her puppy socialization periods? It doesn't matter. Either way, she's nervous, and Cassidy embraces that, acknowledges that, and supports that. And another thing with these bully breeds is they can be stubborn. And so once they're really on either barking or onto something, it can be hard to distract them.
Yeah.
And luckily, she's so eager to please you that...
Absolutely. She's been honestly a dream with training.
Working with Cassidy and Theodora was lovely. Theodora's DNA profile could all correlate back to her behaviors, but the three breeds, which was a lab, a bull mastiff, and the Amstaff, all make perfect sense for who Theo is.
I always love training Theo. It's always such a fun experience. She loves hide and seek, and she loves finding treats. I suspected that she wouldn't like the puzzles because she's very sensitive to things moving and sound. If I try to sweep, she runs for the hills. I'm excited to take this information into like the stimulation piece for her. I think I need to start hiding treats around the apartment more often so that she's working for it, because obviously she is a working dog. I think she'll be a lot happier that way. Thankfully, I have a really great team with the Heart and Soil Rescue that I work with. They've been amazing with tips and tricks and figuring out how to best suit her what she needs.
Coming up, dive into the delightful world of Sam and Hugo, where laughter and love go hand in hand. Don't miss their charming story, next on Doggy DNA.
My name is Sam Perry, and I brought my dog Hugo with me.
So great to have Hugo here with us, who's sitting very nicely right now. Sam, tell me how Hugo came into your life. 5
years ago, Hugo was born.
Okay, good start.
No, we were looking for a dog, and someone had put a deposit on Hugo, and they gave him up. We saw him on an ad, and his little eyes just sucked us in.
Yeah.
And so we went up to see him. 100% fell in love.
Yeah.
He had a little whistle in his nose. We know with breeds that have short noses that they can have health problems. So we were a little concerned about that, whether or not this would be something that we would financially be able to take care of. We talked about that and talked to the breeder, and thankfully they were really receptive to get a tiny procedure done to open up his nostrils. And so ever since, he's been able to breathe better. So we brought him home, and we all just fell in love with each other. My first day with Hugo was so fun. I played with him lots, and we cuddled lots, and I just wanted to make him as comfortable as possible in his new home. Yeah, it was just such a wonderful experience, and he really became part of the family that day. Whenever I saw my partner hold him for the first time as a puppy, the way that they looked in each other's eyes, I just knew that we were going to be like the happiest family.
Was he already named, or did you guys pick?
Hugo was originally Harley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you change it to Hugo?
We changed it to Hugo because we didn't like the name Harley, and my studies are in forensic psychology.
Okay.
And I always liked the name Hugo. There's an old psychologist, his name is Hugo Munstenberg, and he was basically the pioneer of forensic psychology. So I thought that was like a really cool name for...
It suits him very well.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the things that, like, over the last 5 years that you really have grown to love the most about him.
I love that he's so emotionally intelligent. If there's something that, like a distressing event or like something that's super exciting, he always calms down or like levels up to
whatever's needed.
Yeah. He loves to roll in the grass. I mean, it's more charming than like quirky, but it kind of looks quirky when he's like doing somersaults down the hill in the grass. He's like, I'm loving my life. It's the best time ever. I'm out on a walk, and then he'll roll and roll and roll. He also loves to stretch out on the carpet. That's when I know he's happy, when he does his army crawl. He gets these zoomies at night and will like pick on his brother. He'll pick up a sock and then throw it on his brother. Oh. I don't know, it's just cute.
A silly little game they have.
He sleeps in the bed.
Yeah.
So he like sleeps like a human, like his head
on the
pillow. I wanted to get Hugo's DNA checked because I wanted to substantiate the claims that Hugo was 100% Boston Terrier.
And just really find out and make sure that you're able to give him his best life.
Yeah, honestly, that's all we want.
Are you looking forward to the results?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to know.
Good. Well, I have the results here.
Okay.
And Hugo is 100% Boston Terrier.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's good to know.
It is good to know.
Arising in the 19th century, the Boston Terrier began its journey in Massachusetts, where it was bred as a compact and agile fighting dog. Despite their turbulent beginnings, these dogs underwent an inspired transformation. Shedding their past lives as American fighters, Bostons like Hugo are now fondly referred to as American gentlemen, which nods to their dapper attitudes and formal markings. With his gratified spirit and grand philosophy for life, Hugo exemplifies the Boston Terrier's ultimate rise in personality.
He did come from a registered breeder.
Yep.
So yeah, it wasn't like a huge surprise, but I'm so relieved to know that.
Hugo happens to be what we call brachycephalic, which just means a smooshy face. And although it is extremely adorable, it can come with some medical problems. And so they were noticing that there was some of that difficulty with breathing through the nose. We see this a lot in veterinary medicine, not only the nostril surgery, but also sometimes we can do surgery on their soft palate. And that's something that owners need to be aware of when they're looking to adopt.
I'm so glad that we got his DNA checked because I always wondered about whether or not the registration was legitimate. And this kind of just substantiates the fact that he is 100% Boston, which is what we thought.
These Boston Terriers are known to be energetic lap dogs,
yes,
right?
Of
That's
course,
that's a good way to explain them, right? They can play with all the high energy, but they do make amazing lap dogs and amazing companions.
He's such a people person too, or people dog.
Yeah.
He just loves everyone and is so highly personable and excitable and just loves the world.
I can see
but
that.
But also is so happy to just hang out on my lap. He's like, my guy.
And the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
You can take him for a good hike and then you can also choose to be a
It's
couch
true.
potato with him and he'd be happy doing that. So how do you find it training with Hugo?
He's super food motivated, so it's been easy to train him.
And that's always really helpful, right? Because when they are food motivated, that acts as their positive reinforcer. Boston Terriers, they can be a little bit stubborn. Have you noticed that trait?
Yeah, he kind of does what he wants to do. If I really want him to do something, he knows to
because they also really love their people and they want to
please,
right?
Yeah.
Because they can have that little bit of stubbornness when you are doing work or trying a new trick, kind of shorter bursts of training and then take breaks.
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I always want to be teaching him new things.
That's fantastic. And a lot of the time when we do training, we start off with a high valued reward, which is the treat. But then once they start kind of getting the hang of things and knowing what you're asking and they don't need that much motivation to do what you're asking, the positive reinforcer could simply be a good boy or a little scratch on the neck, you know?
Okay,
Positive reinforcers don't always have to be food.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
We love trying to teach him new tricks and he just is really responsive to it and it seems like an activity for him. He gets as excited to do tricks and stuff as he does to go on a walk.
Physical exercise and mental exercise with a lot of rewards. I think you're doing everything wonderfully.
Thank you. I loved hanging out with Bianca in the dog room and playing with Hugo was so fun. And I'm just looking to give him his best life, so that was super helpful. I love sharing that experience with other people. He makes other people happy, so I love that for him.